Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we will be giving our review for Fast X or Fast 10, the newest part 1 film in the franchise. I don't think this franchise will ever stop. Hopefully it does soon, but I know the massive fans probably want 50 of these things, but
Is it part 2 supposed to be the last one?
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
It was initially supposed to be.
There'll probably be spin-offs and who knows what else. I mean, we already got Hobbs and Shaw. Who knows what else they'll come up with. But this is one that she was a little more excited for than I was. I'm just whatever with them for the most part. After the first, I love the first one. I've said this in previous videos. First one's my favorite. After that, some are good. Others are not so good. But this one came as somewhat of a surprise for me. Now, that's not saying that I loved it, but it was definitely...
You liked it more than the last little bit.
Yeah, it was definitely a surprise with how much I enjoyed it. I'll let her tell her part first.
My part?
Yeah, you do your review for it first.
I mean, it is one of my more favorite ones, but the only thing I don't like about it is there's too many unknowns, but I know it's because there's a part 2, but there's too many unknowns, and I don't like unknowns. It bothers me. And it bothers me with anything. It bothers me with movies, books, anything. And I can't stand it. It drives me insane. It drives me crazy. But, I mean, it was really good, though, and Jason Momoa's character, his character is so funny, and it works. I didn't know how that was going to work with him being in the movie, but it works. And then, are we doing spoilers?
Might as well. It's been out forever.
And then John Cena's, or what we're assuming is his death anyway.
If he walks away from that, I just give up on Fast and Furious.
That got me, because, and I'm not like a huge John Cena fan, but I do like him in mainly his more comedic roles, and he does really well with that in this. So that sort of sucked, and I had a feeling it was going to happen, but I don't like it. I don't care.
My thought process behind that is had Paul Walker still been alive, would that have been Brian's character that sacrificed himself and told Dom
I was thinking the
to
same
take care
thing.
of his son? And
I was like, I could totally like.
Because I could have seen you breaking down then if that would have happened. You would have been bawling your eyes out.
I would have died. I could see where if Paul Walker was still alive, like him taking either just Brian's kid or both, him and Dom's kid, and then Dom gets him back and he has to take care of both of them. But I would have died if that was the case. But it worked though. I think John did decent in it. I don't think there was any issues there. And I know you had mentioned that you didn't know if there was necessarily a point to John being in the movie because he didn't do much, but I think because of Dom's kid, it worked.
It gave him a little bit. I feel like
it wasn't like
in a way, outside of his kind of finale where he sacrifices himself, up to that point, I felt like he could have had just any character, any person
take care of him,
do that scene.
Yeah.
But you know, but with that final scene, it made it kind of be more meaningful.
Okay,
thankfully,
so
for it to be
the
John.
one of the things I didn't understand, which it may show whatever in part 2, but Mia's never to be seen again after she's supposed to meet with them.
And that was one of my big issues with this movie.
So why couldn't she stay with him?
Not the fact we don't see Mia, but this movie, it's like 2 hours and some minutes long.
It's right over 2 hours, yeah.
There's so much, and there's so many characters that some of the characters just feel like you forget about them.
You're just
Like,
there.
for instance...
Which they may do that on purpose depending on what they put in part 2. But as of right now, where the heck was Mia this whole time after the attack when they tried to get Little B? And then you had Gal Gadot come up in the damn submarine. Like, she's supposed to be dead.
Well, I mean, it's like...
Technically, Han was too, but there was a reason for that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they bring John back after that, I'm done. Because technically, Han died in a similar situation. So.
But if Gal is coming back in the second one and like shows up in front of everybody, her and Han better get back together. Swear to God.
But like, for instance, you had Letty.
Like,
She you kind of forgot about her. She was kind of off in prison, and they try to tie her in with Charlize Theron or whatever.
well, that was
and breaking
though,
her
for what
out.
happened.
But it was almost like I would forget about her.
Yeah.
Because they've got so much going on.
That's the thing. I would forget about her because she wasn't.
And they would come back and be like, oh yeah, she was. This did happen to her.
Maybe a quarter of the movie to a little over a quarter, because after the bomb being on fire, going through everything, that was it. You didn't really see her except when they were trying to escape.
And like Brie Larson's character, I'd forget about her.
I did
the daughter.
and I thought her being in the movie was gonna not be that good,
Mm-hmm.
but it worked for what they were doing. However, I wanted to punch the agency guy in the face.
And then he redeemed himself, and then he wanted you to punch. You didn't want to punch him again when he turned.
Yes, because I was like, okay, so maybe he's not an asshole, and then no, it didn't work out.
Yeah, I think this movie should have been shorter. I think it had a little bit of pacing issues. I thought it dragged a little bit. I think there was too much going on. I would forget about certain characters as we've discussed.
I'm actually the opposite. I feel like it was paced decent for how much was going on.
I will say I liked the fact that the action wasn't over the top. I think they kept it fairly grounded up until probably the end, when he jumps the car out of the plane and lands on the other two cars and all that.
Yeah. It's not as over the top as the damn parachutes on the cars, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean
they toned it down a little.
Or going to space or anything like that. So it's definitely toned down, which I liked a lot.
Yeah.
It still had the emotional moments. Overall it was definitely one of the better ones in a while. But it just, for me, it still wasn't like a 5 out of 5 or anything. Like, oh my god, that makes me change my mind on the franchise.
One of the things that I don't get unless they go more into it in the next movie is what the girl he used to be with, her sister. I didn't really see the point in her being there. Except for leverage, because Jason ended up kidnapping her.
I mean, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. They threw so many characters in this, and then you get like Statham, and he's only in it for a scene, and then he takes off to go save his mom, who we see for 2 seconds when she randomly pops up beside Dom. How she got there, I have no idea. How she got there so fast.
You can be against all you want, but I like the fact that he did it.
I'm not saying that I don't like that he's in it, but it's just like, I thought, the Statham character's mom popped up randomly out of nowhere, like they just needed to throw her in. Yeah. So that felt very random and thrown in. His character felt very, in a way, underused, because he didn't really do much besides...
He had a fight scene at the beginning with Han, and then both of them against the agency guys, or
he fought Han for like 2 seconds. They fought the agency guys.
And then they fought together, and then that was it.
Yeah, and that's it. He takes off to go save his mom.
I do wish he would have been in it more, but I mean, he was talking about going and hunting whatever down in order to save his mom. So I guarantee he'll be in the next one more. And I guarantee he'll have help. And the other thing we were talking about is now, because at the end they show Dwayne on the phone with him. So
Mhm.
now you have Hobshaw and Dom and his crew. How is Jason gonna like that? Just you can tell it's not even gonna match. It shouldn't match up.
Yeah, because one of the big mistakes they made for me in this movie was they make. I love Momoa's character in this. I think he is a very fun character. He's hilarious. He's smart. The problem
He's one of the best
is,
villain type people, I guess you would say, that they've had.
yeah, the problem is they kind of make him weak. He had a semi-fight scene with Dom, and Dom pretty much kicks his ass. And
It sort of looked like he was acting that way on purpose, though. Like,
I don't know, but I'm curious to see kind of what will happen because
if not, then
if
he
he's
should have known, been able to put up some sort of fight for at least temporarily. I cannot talk. Because Jason almost or is bigger than Dom. He's close to being bigger than Dom, if not. So I don't understand why he couldn't have at least attempted to put up a fight,
yeah.
even if he still ended up losing.
So it was definitely either done on purpose, like he's saving him strength,
Or they just didn't think.
or
about it.
yeah, they just didn't think. Because to me, I can't see Momoa being a weak character.
No.
Strength wise, he's obviously strong when it comes to his intellect because he's setting all this stuff up. But
The only, we'll say, as far as timing, now I'm thinking about it, the only part I can think of that sort of drags when it probably shouldn't is when they're racing. When Jason, Dom, and the other two are racing. And I think it's because he has the bombs on the car, so he's timing it. But it makes it drag just a little too long.
It'll be interesting to see what the final film, either in the franchise or a part of this movie, whichever it's going to be. It'll be interesting to see what they do, how they bring them all together. I mean, how are you going to get Gail, Michelle and Charlize to them when they're in
I'm curious
Antarctica?
what the story is on her character, because it better be a damn good story.
How is Dom and Little B going to get out of the ravine or whatever before the dam breaks and crushes them?
Because they're literally right there at the bottom, and the bomb is set to go off.
How is Hobbs going to meet up with them? How is Shaw going to meet up with them?
You don't know if everyone in the plane died.
Yeah, everybody
okay.
in the plane. Did they die? How did they get out if they didn't die? Was the parachute? We just didn't see them jump out.
I guarantee you they're alive. It's just you don't know, so it's like.
I would say they're obviously alive, but like, did they jump out? When did they jump out? Because we obviously didn't see them, jump out of the plane at any point before it crashed.
Well, because it hit that one wing engine area, and then they went around the mountain, but the whole plane didn't explode or anything. So it's like they could have easily jumped out the other side or something.
That's what sort of makes me also frustrated with this franchise is they sort of they do things and then they rewrite their old movies, almost like we're just supposed to ignore that they're rewriting their old movies.
Well, this one comes in between 4 and 5, right?
This one is supposed to be I think it's the 5th one, because the scene where they're still in the safe, the movie where they're still in the safe, I think it's the 5th one, I believe.
So between 5 and 6?
No, this was actually part of 5.
Oh, part of 5. Oh,
They just rewrote it and wrote Jason's character in there, but we know all those scenes we've seen before, and Jason was not in those scenes.
No, there was no one even that would even.
So they completely just rewrote the movie, and we're just supposed to go with it. And that's just more likely, if they say they have them jumping out of the plane, we're just going to have to think, well, pretend like we didn't know that we never saw them
That's
jump out
the
before
thing.
it
I feel
crashed.
like they should have done either in between movies or just continue from where they initially left off. Part of me does only because you have that situation, but another part of me is like, because I'm one of the few people that actually didn't really. I mean, I like 5, but I'm not like crazy over it, so I don't mind it being like redone in a way. But
I think it just makes it feel like they think we're dumb and we're not going to pick up on it, like we're just going to believe it or
no, I
something.
think they're just trying to get a cash grab.
But it's like, quit rewriting your old movies. You've done it with Han. You're doing it with Gale. You're doing it now with this one. And I think they've done it before.
They bring
I think with Shaw.
so many people back that should have definitely just been gone. Han was a little bit different because the way it happened, I could sort of forgive that one. But Gale, for instance, she fell out of the damn plane.
It's just like, you could tell it's a cash grab move. It's a cheap cash grab move.
Not saying it wasn't good, but you could tell they're doing it just for money and
it's
not
stupid.
really thinking about it.
I mean, it's very stupid. Just quit rewriting your movies. Just make sequels and quit rewriting what we've already watched and trying to extend the franchise.
All that said, because I have a very big heart for the Fast franchise, I did give it a 5 out of 5.
Oh.
Because I can't not do it. It was too, because I couldn't, like, besides the like the little things in the timeline issue, like that type of thing, I couldn't, like, anything, like, nothing was wrong with the movie. So I was like, well, I didn't have any reason not to.
I could definitely see if you gave this a bad score. I could definitely see it. I was generous. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. To me, you know, Momoa gives it at least a 1.5 stars. The tamed down action that was really good when we did get it, that was at least worth a star. But and of course there's other factors to get to that 3.5, but
and it may change your mind a little bit once you see part 2 also, because once it all comes together it may make more sense on everything.
I mean, possibly, but for right now, you know, to me it's just an okay cash grab film. It's a okay to good cash grab film. It's watchable. I got some fun out of it.
Yeah, but after like the first
like,
one or two, you've never been like over the top with them the series at all.
Mm-mm. Well, because they went over the top, they started rewriting their movie, the franchise,
they went more
and
over
all
the
that.
top, though, you still weren't like, You're just with it.
I've always just been a fan of the first one. I think the first one could have been a one and done, and we could have just left it at that.
All of them,
and not have had more.
And people are gonna hate me, but I actually like the third one too.
Oh,
it's really good.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else I want to say.
Mm-mm.
Anything else you want to say?
No, I just want the next one to hurry up and come out so I can know what the hell happened.
I think it's like 2024 or 2025.
Well, I hope it's not later than that, because
I don't think it's later than 2025. But I don't know with all this pushback and delays of when it's supposed to be exactly. With all the movies because of the strikes, so.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that is everything for our review for Fast 10, so part 1. So please come like and subscribe, hit the bell to be notified for our videos, and we'll see you all in the next one.